Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I thought I'll share some inconvenience about owning a rural property in Western Australia. Now, for the first time in years, I was issued a potential fine from the council because of non-compliance to fire breaks. So whenever they send out your rate notice, they will advise you to do fire breaks. The fire breaks is, as you can see out in the distance there, is about 3 meters. It needs to be clear from the boundary line. And also, anyway, what we've done is we do it every year, the same thing. But because of the early November rain, I'll stand in the shade for a little bit. Early November rain, there was a bit of grass that grew back again. It wasn't like a lot, but still, you know, to have the ranger came around and they took photos and they send you a notice and they tell you to redo the soil. Now, at the moment, my dad did it again, and back last year in late November, we had to run this a few times. As you can see, it's very clear and all the way up to there. I mean, it's more than 3 meters, but the minimum is 3 meters, and the trees shouldn't be overhang. Now, I want to share with you something that's like the product that I use to trim the branch. So, if you look at the branches there, the diameter is pretty big, but nowhere compared to the trees that I use. The Stihl handheld pruner is one of those like small device. That is the amount of mulch that I use. I use the Michigan wood chipper to chip all the branches. Now we redo all of this again, and we walk along down here, and I'm going to show you how great the Stihl handheld pruner is. So all of these branches, I mean, like, it's nothing. I don't know about you, but I get a bit breathless these days. I swear to God. Maybe it's old age. But down here, if you look at those big branch up there, those freshly cut branches up there, and that pile of wood down there, you can see there, that is a massive diameter, like right there. Okay, that big one. And that one there. Okay. So I also prune a bit of like the lemon and lime section. So if you see, this is like the other end. That's my hand, right? The other end is a lot bigger. Now, you would think like, I mean, I pushed the Stihl hand pruner to the max when I did this, and I was thoroughly impressed, like very impressed. At the same time, it did ruin the chain, which I need to replace, but I tell you, it's so convenient, so light to use, and I would totally recommend it. I also have the what was the other one, the Milwaukee handheld chainsaw, but in comparison is a lot more heavy for me, and to get this level of work done, I don't need it. Now, the other dangerous thing that I did was, if you see that break there, in spite of my best judgment, I was on a ladder and it was a little bit unsteady, and I was like cutting it away, and because once it got to that tip there, it broke off and it nearly went backwards, which, you know, from a safety perspective, in retrospect now, I should have known better. Like, you know, I've seen so many, like, hear about so many accidents with the ladder and trees and stuff. I should be more vigilant, but I'm not when I'm on my own property. That branch down there kind of like snapped halfway, and it went towards the ladder. I was like holding on to dear life at the top there. It was crazy. So these are the things that I've done, which I'm not proud of. It could have been like a really bad trauma, to be honest. But in spite of all what I've just shared with you, I I just want to say, if you're in for like a handheld pruner that can do the job of that thing there and that, yeah, definitely consider the Stihl handheld chainsaw. And the other thing is, of course, it will require a bit of technique. Otherwise, if you don't use it properly, you will ruin it, like anything. I mean, I was a little bit careful with these ones because these were my first test, and then I thought, okay, I just want to push it to the limit by going for a bigger trunk, and that, I guess that would be the max limit that I would go for. Like, I wouldn't go back and do it again. I would get a bigger like chainsaw, but knowing that it can do that and it can do this if I really want to, which means it's a really good invention. The other thing is, like, if you come along and you just trim these ones, you know, it's no problem. You can get it done like half the work, like half a day with those battery ones, and the battery charge really quick. I would recommend get like spare chains, the chainsaw, the teeth, get the spare one and you'll be on your way. Let's walk towards this way. Wow. Look at my guardian of the land. Even New Year he celebrates. We celebrate with him and we are thankful for him. Guardian of the land. There's one on every land, every country. So you can see all of these small ones. And down here, what is this, about 10 centimeters? It's like no problem. And there's no point in like getting a big chainsaw and, you know, carrying it around, and it's really heavy. Like, I have a really small wrist, so, you know, for the big bloke, well, if they want to get something more heavy and heavy duty and that sort of thing, fine. But I mean, like, this is pretty good. So on the other side, my neighbor property, I always admire his hard work. He's done so much over there. I mean, I still remember the days when those native trees were like little. They're like small. And now look how big they are. Like, you definitely need it. You need windbreak, you need fire brakes. What else do you need? I need the brake. And that's the end of the video. Take care, everyone. And remember, safety planning before you approach anything that is potentially going to be a cause for accident. And after I've been through that, I think I need to be a bit more careful. We're not young anymore. I mean, unless you're young, that's fine. But you still need to look after yourself. All right, bye.